I'd like to call to order the Board of Safety public meeting for Wednesday, December 14th, 2022. If we can please rise and pledge the flag, and then Pastor Ken will do an invocation for us, please.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Let us pray. In this season of peace and joy, we give you thanks that we have safety, and we thank you for the opportunity to receive your blessings. Enable us to be a blessing to others. Keep our firefighters and law enforcement and paramedics safe in their journeys. Enable them to be instilled with your wisdom and guidance. Be over the deliberations of this board, and also allow them to know your safety and security. Thank you for our community that we get to serve, and for the opportunity we get to be a light in a dark place. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you. First of all, we have a life-saving
Roll call.
Roll call, please.
Josh Gilbert.
Present.
Jim Wolthoff.
Present.
Dave Lupo. Norm Stick. Charlie Caper.
Present.
Blake Fisher.
Here.
Todd Wilkening.
Here.
Carl Brittingham.
Here.
Nick Mager.
Here.
Ralph Miller. Is
We
that?
have not.
And Dave Osh is absent.
Thank you. First of all, we have a life-saving commendation award and recognition for There you go. Sorry. Chief, you want to take over?
Sure. This is on behalf of Chief Wilkening and I. Board members, on November 29th, 2022, the Cedar Lake Police Department and the Cedar Lake Fire Department received a call that we dread the most. A 7-month-old child was seizing, and the parents did not know what to do. As officers and EMS were being dispatched, Southcom advised that the child had been dealing with a fever for the last 7 days. First on scene was Corporal Richard Pennington. Corporal Pennington stated that he exited his vehicle, grabbing some items that he may need. The father ran out of the house, stating that his daughter was not breathing. Corporal Pennington entered the residence to find the mother of the child on the floor with the baby. Corporal Pennington asked the mother if he could take her, and he laid her upon the kitchen table. Observing that the child was still not breathing, Corporal Pennington began cardiopulmonary resuscitation, or CPR. Corporal Pennington continued CPR while Cedar Lake EMS were en route to the scene. Cedar Lake EMS had been dispatched earlier on a separate call, and were in the process of transporting a patient to Franciscan Health in Crown Point. Corporal Pennington advised the Battalion Chief James Schultz arrived on scene with the ambulance. Corporal Pennington picked up the child, ran out to the ambulance where Chief Schultz was waiting for him in the back. They continued CPR, and Battalion Chief Schultz placed an ambo bag on the child's mouth to assist with the breathing. It was at that point the child began to breathe again on its own with a heartbeat. Board members, Chief Wilkening and I are here tonight to present Corporal Richard Pennington and Battalion Chief James Schultz with a life-saving certificate. Chief Wilkening and I feel that without the persistence, knowledge, and never quit attitude, these emergency service employees saved the life of this child. It is my pleasure to introduce to you Corporal Richard Pennington and Battalion Chief James Schultz. Chief Wilkening and I are presenting this life-saving certificate today, which says Life-Saving Award. We hereby honor Corporal Richard Pennington and Battalion Chief James Schultz in recognition of your outstanding performance and your swift and professional actions, which led to the saving of a human life on November 29th, 2022. Signed, William Fisher, Chief of Police, and Todd Wilkening, Chief of the Fire Department.
Congratulations. Good job. Job well done.
Yes.
Good job well
Chief,
done.
good job.
You're
Yep.
joining the fire department now, I heard.
Board members, if you will, please, if you have an opportunity, on Tuesday night, we will be recognizing both of these fine emergency service personnel with additional items at the council meeting.
Rich?
Thanks, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
See you there, and we'll take a picture.
Very proud.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Good job.
Thank you.
Proud of you.
Take care. Thank you. We got one quick picture.
Yep.
He's on duty, by the way, that's why.
You can open it up so it's visible. Good?
Looks good.
Thank you guys. Yep. Good job. Thank you. For sure.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you, everyone else, for showing up and congratulating your fellow coworkers. And good luck on the beer. And we have a couple participants.
They're doing well.
Okay, we'll continue onward with the public comment. If there's public comment, please approach the podium and state your name and address for the record. You have to call 3 times. Public comment once, twice, 3 times. Being none, I need approval of the minutes from Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022.
So moved.
I have a motion from Norm,
Oh, second?
second from Dave. Are there any questions on the minutes? Being none, roll call vote.
Carl Everett,
Yes.
Jim Olsop,
Yes.
Dave Lobo,
Yes.
Norm Stick,
Yes.
Charlie Gabriel.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. VIPS report.
So we have your VIPS report that's on the, there for you. They had a total of 87 incidents in November, a lot of miscellaneous items. I'm not sure what those were, but in detail, mandatory monthly meeting. They had the Parade of Lights in November and a call out for a PI accident.
All right, thank you for their service. Police Department, old and new business, first of all, communications.
So as you commented a few minutes ago, our Beards Battling Cancer is doing well. We are up to $1,645 of donations and monies to kids in Northwest Indiana with cancer. Getting really close to that halfway goal of $4,000 by the end of February, so that's my goal, and we're doing really well. It's some really good donations from some businesses that are currently doing business with the town, so it's really nice. We also received a call. I don't have much information on it, but we received a call, voicemail, and it was a female just wanting to say thank you. Apparently, Corporal Alande gave a courtesy ride for someone that was having a really bad day. I guess that's how it was described, correct, Sarah?
Yeah.
It's a really bad day, and she wanted to say thank you. There's no further information given on it, but it was a nice thank you.
Okay.
Can I ask a quick question? I'm not familiar with this beard thing. How are these guys raising money growing a beard?
So each one of them are required to pay $25 a month to have the beard. And then we have on our websites, as well as from emails, pushed out anyone that wants to donate. They can donate in the honor of an officer, so they can put their name on there, or they can just donate to the cause. For instance, I've taken in about 3 donations myself, and I'm not growing a beard. So, but each officer, if they want to have a beard, it's probably true too. I can't grow one.
So you don't lie.
So each officer,
I didn't see it.
One
Was
more
it
time.
publicized, you said?
I do not.
It was publicized?
Oh yeah.
It's a
Facebook
nationwide
page.
thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
I was unaware of it, okay.
Yeah, it's also on their website, NWIkidswithcancer.org, right? And then you go on that page, you hit events, and Cedar Lake's on there, and you can click on that, and give the donation, so, but part of the requirement for their beard was they had to pay $25 a month to do it, so.
Will they be able to keep their beard after the...
So we had a long discussion, and if they maintain them and they look presentable, then we're gonna approve them for beards. So it's a new thing with law enforcement. I can say that those of us with years on are struggling with it because we never had beards or goatees, and many of my officers want to grow a nice clean-cut beard, and so we're gonna give it a shot.
Any more communications?
No, sir.
Finances, purchase orders.
you can see the purchase orders for the month of November. Pretty normal things, tires. We did purchase the 2 9-hole barricades from the Andrew Law donation. Is that posted? If you had an opportunity to look at our Facebook page, you would have seen a nice little tribute to Mr. Ladd on the 2 training tools, or training barricades that we received. They're on there, and we have some plaques that are ordered that we're going to cement onto them so that they're in honor of him. Unfortunately, it takes like 8 weeks to get these done because they're made in a material that does not fade or rust out. So we're just waiting on that to be completed. We did get some badges and nameplates ordered. And car 115, which is a pool car, cost us quite a bit of money, but we had all the lifters replaced on them because of a knocking issue. But it's one of our good cars that's probably going to go to a rookie, so because we need it. So, yeah, so it's running really nice now. And the purchase orders are shut down for the year, so.
Anything on grants?
No, we got all the equipment in. We have 4 more dates in January for additional equipment installation for the body cameras and the car cameras, so.
You have 4 more to do?
We have a lot more to do. We have 4 more dates to do them.
Okay. All right, staffing, new hire, police, and possibility, new hiring of a new police patrolman.
So if you would, board, maybe modify the agenda and,
It's on here.
is it?
Mhm.
And that's it. Oh, I'm on the old, I'm on the one we got on Thursday. Sorry. Okay.
We're efficient. Thank you,
Sarah
Sarah.
is,
Thanks.
You say, what you say, Charlie?
he said I got it.
We're efficient. Thank you, Sarah.
All right, that's what you were gonna put
All right, new hire of patrolman. I need the motion, please.
I need your name.
Sabrina Stolitz.
Stolar.
Stolars.
I make the motion that we hire Sabrina Stolars
Where's she from? I know.
as a new police officer candidate.
Probationary.
I'll second that.
Effective.
Well, when the town council approves the ability, we're still waiting on budget approval. Yeah.
And if they approve that, when would the next academy class start, or do you have any idea?
She would probably have to wait, the new academy class starts in January, so she would not probably make that one because of the pre-entrance, so she would probably get started, with us working the road, doing field training, and then go to the academy, so I would imagine she would go to the August class. Probably, right?
But she would be hired up and,
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll get her, we can send her through pre-basic course, which is 40 hours, and she can act as in law enforcement. She has 101 year to complete the academy from the point she's hired.
Okay, I have a motion on the floor. Any further questions?
Who seconded your motion?
Jim Olthoff.
And who made the motion?
Norm Stick.
Norm Stick, okay, I got it wrong.
Roll call vote, please.
Josh Gilbert,
Yes.
Jim Olthoff,
yes.
Dave Little,
Yes.
Norm Stick,
Yes,
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. The chief will take care of notifying her and the other candidates. We'd appreciate it.
I will.
All right, now we go to training report.
I would like to have my training officer here, but he's still tied up with this thing called COVID. Him and his wife both, so. As you can see, the training report for the month of November, we did have, well, that was actually in December, so. We had some, street cop training, which is a pretty, new thing a lot of officers are going to, for, drug interdiction. We had intoximeter and SOTOX training. The SOTOX is the, new roadside drug testing ability. Be able to test someone to see if they're on narcotics. We have one of those. We had 4 officers attend NASRO, which is a school resource officer. We had some Police One training, which is online, and another drug paraphernalia class at Fulton.
Okay, equipment.
You heard me on the car, so we got the lifters replaced on the car. Hoping that the council, once the budget's approved, will give us the okay to start work, going forward on the 4 new replacement vehicles for next year right away, since they are, taking so long. We've been being told that Ford has been canceling vehicles left and right. I think county, we heard Ford canceled 20, and Maryville Ford canceled 13 of their orders because they can't fulfill them, so, yeah. It's tough out there. It's tough for the whole country.
So is the only thing online is Dodge probably?
Right now, that's what we're going after is Dodge, yeah. Correct.
Chevrolet offer anything, or?
Chevy does not offer anything anymore, no. The only 2 real police vehicles anymore are the Ford Interceptors and the Dodge packages. Chevy got out of anything full-size with that realm, so. I don't know what the Ford issue is. I think it's still a chip-related issue or unable to manufacture. Would you know, Carl?
No.
Yeah.
And we're doing 4 cars next year?
Yeah, I put in for 4.
Alright, municipal policy,
Monthly activity report.
I'm sorry.
You can see we had 950 calls for service, still averaging 34 calls a day, up to 11,374 calls for the year. 86 state violations were issued, 355 warnings were issued. We had a total of 19 arrests, 315 for the year, with 574 total charges for the year. We also had the ordinance that is attached to the next line for you. For the month of November, we had 45 citations were issued, or warnings were issued for ordinance violations. God bless you. And then there were 42 citations issued for ordinance. That was from code enforcement only.
That's great.
Okay, that's it.
Alright, lexical,
All right, board, so you have received resolutions that will be presented to the town council through the town attorney, those both being on 2 police-related matters that came from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy's training board. These are related to vehicle pursuits as well as
use of force.
use of force, thank you. You also received the letter from the Indiana State Police, the chairman of the board, which is the Indiana State Police Superintendent Douglas Carter, on what these are for, specific for Indiana Code 5219, which is specific to vehicle pursuits and deadly force. So these 2 resolutions are in agreements that we will ensure that our policies will, at minimum, be what the Indiana State Law Enforcement Academy's training board will, or require, that we will have that at minimum, and will not modify that in any way.
Okay, the resolution on vehicle pursuit has to be passed before January 1st of 2023. So this is our last meeting, so we need to consider resolution 2022-2 vehicle pursuits. Is there a motion?
So moved.
A motion from Jim, is there a second?
I'll second it. Go ahead, Josh.
I have a second from Josh. Any questions? Seeing none, roll call vote, please.
Josh Gophert,
Yes.
Jim Olcott,
Yes.
Dave Villalobos,
Yes.
Norm Stick,
Yes.
Charlie Caper.
Yes, motion carries 5-0. The second one is use of force, resolution number 220223.
2022-3.
Yeah. We can pass that tonight if you wish, or we can table it, because it doesn't have to
We
be
can
done.
pass it tonight.
Okay,
Let's do it.
okay. Any questions? This is state mandated, so I need a motion.
I'll make a motion to, pass the, use of force.
I have a motion from Dave, is there a second?
I'll second it.
I have a second from Norm, any questions on this?
And again, board, just so that we can clarify for the public anyways watching, these are minimum standards that the Law Enforcement Training Board says that every law enforcement agency must have in their policy.
Being there are no further questions, roll call vote, please.
Josh Govert?
Yes.
Jim Olsop?
Yes.
Dave Villalobos?
Yes.
Norm Stick?
Yes.
Charlie Gaper?
Yes, motion carries 5-0. Anything else?
The only other thing was we received our first settlement from the opioid lawsuit that happened, a federal lawsuit. Every town and community in Indiana, right, sir?
Yes.
Received some type of settlement. We were even unaware that there was this big lawsuit against the drug manufacturing companies. We received a check for
$27,000.
$27,000. It's specific on its usage, so, right now, the clerk treasurer's office is, first have to go in front of the board, or the town council to develop a, place to put the money, and then what it can be used for. So
Is
we
it
are,
27,000 even?
it's our 27,000 and some change, I don't know exactly. But that's the first settlement, and we will receive a check for the next 15 years.
Yeah, I think it was over 20 years.
Yeah. After the first settlement check, though, for us, they really drastically decreases. It's somewhere in the area of $4,000 to $5,000.
So you said every year you're gonna get a check?
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, you should have seen some of the other communities. They got huge checks.
There's restricted and unrestricted funds, so like some of the unrestricted funds, you can spend on pretty much anything, but the restricted funds are designated for certain things.
Mostly related to opioid. So if it's education, pamphlets,
Training.
I don't know what else.
I
Probably
believe
at the top.
Attorney General Todd Rakita was the one that filed the suit.
Okay, that's good. So we'll probably have to, come up with a game plan with the fire chief and see if we can come up with some kind of something to put out there with the money that we got for it, in this lawsuit, and
So does it go to both police and fire? Is it just the?
I don't know. I thought we received it from them, so I don't know if it was related to law enforcement only, but I truly don't know. I didn't even know about the lawsuit. Most of the communities didn't. We reached out to other police departments, they're like, yeah, we weren't aware of it either. So, all of a sudden, there was a settlement, this is what you're getting. We don't know how the equation they use to decide what communities get what. We were just notified we were getting a check for $27,000, so we'll try to come up with some kind of game plan of way to put information out there or utilize them funds for, the betterment of the community.
All right, thank you very much. Todd, you're next. Communications, are there any?
No, other than we received a bunch of Christmas cards from different departments and people in the community. That's it.
We'll move on to finances.
We have purchase orders, you can see we spent $9,100 last month on basically truck repairs and servicing of our trucks. J&M equipment came out, serviced all the units. And then also, ladder testing that was done. There's a few things left on the ladder truck that we got to take a look at. Under finances, our holiday fundraiser, we picked our winners and it's online. Everybody looked pretty much local. One name you might notice is Pam Kastner, one. She also won. So they get a $250 gift card to Target, $250 gift card to Strax, and then they get a gift card for, I don't know, I think it was $50 to Leo's. So.
Anything on grants?
Other than Chief Monger was awarded the grant I put in for him to go to the International Fire Chiefs Association meeting in Florida. There was two chiefs in Lake County picked, and Chief Mager and Chief Leduc from St. John will be going together. Nobody put in for it in Lake, or Porter County, so we got their spot. So, Chief Mager, I've been to the International, it's very educational, it's very good experience, and I wanted him to have that opportunity, since all expenses are paid, so.
When is that happening?
The 4th of January.
Second week of January.
Second week of January. So while we're freezing our butt off, he'll be down there, you know, just,
And
Good time to be employed.
yep, so.
take sunscreen. Staffing,
Staffing, we have everybody back to work. We did lose a guy for COVID for a few days. The same guy that has been off for a long time ended up coming, taking COVID. He can't win for losing, but he's good now. You have a letter that's gonna go to the council in reference to the new hire after the first of the year. Other than that, that's it. We're working on, I'm gonna wait until January to do some advertising for part-time help and a future list to be put together for full-time.
all right, we have, next, a letter of resignation from Chief Scolari.
I think you guys did that last month, didn't you?
That's on our agenda now, we have to accept, we didn't have the letter, I don't think.
Oh, we did, okay.
What number is he in? Sorry.
Should be
Oh, here it is. His last day will be March 1st, 2023. He's in,
Yes, that's his last day.
Okay.
March 1st, yeah.
need a motion to accept the letter.
I'll make the motion.
Norm? Motion, second?
I'll second it.
Josh, the second. And then his replacement is,
Fred Sanu,
and,
and he'll, after the first year, we'll start the perf process on him.
okay,
And he'll be able to start pending that he makes it through perf.
okay. And we need roll call vote, please.
Josh Gower,
Yes.
Jim Multagh,
Yes.
Dave Villalobos,
Yes.
Norm Stick,
Yes.
Charlie Gager.
Yes. Alrighty, and is there going to be a presentation of something somewhere along the line?
There will be.
Okay, wonderful.
I'll keep you posted.
Training report.
As you can see, it's extensive, a lot of training going on. We have a handful of people in the driver operator course being put on by the district. That's being taught at this District 1 St. John training site. They're about to finish that. I have one person that's enrolled in paramedic school for next year, and then we have two coming out of EMT school here in the next 3 months. So we have one of them's a volunteer. They're all three on our department, but one's a volunteer with POC, the other one's part-time, the other one's full-time. So,
Who's coming out of paramedic school? Or who's going in paramedic?
Erlene Long is going into paramedic school. John Smith just graduated, and he'll be officially a paramedic on the 22nd, he thinks, because he's got his skill test. That's all he's got to do. He's passed everything else, and he'll pass his skills. It's not a problem. He has to take the test with St. Anthony's for protocols. That's it. So he'll be a full-fledged paramedic firefighter then. So we have a lot of people in training. We have a lot of people going through and I have two applicants for the academy that that you guys saw a long time ago that they were just waiting for the academy. And then I have another one, Ashton Cowder just met with me. He's going to meet with me on Friday. That wants to join the fire department.
What?
So, yeah. So he'll be coming before the Board of Safety in January to meet you guys.
That's Chief Cowder's grandson.
Mm-hmm. I wasn't gonna tell Fisher that, Chief Fisher that until after.
Oh.
But I couldn't get it approved by the board without him being here, so.
We could have given him the day off.
He's a really good kid, he wants to join the volunteers, so we can put him through the academy, we'll get him through EMT school, and he wants to pursue a career in the fire EMS world, so we're hoping that we can help him start from scratch and, be one of our full-timers someday. He's really a smart kid, he is, actually. Not to get in law enforcement, as everybody says. He really contemplated both that in the military and, he's very motivated, he's a really good kid, he'd be, asset to our town, so. And then also that, his grandfather was a police chief and, keep the name going, that's kinda cool.
Okay, Lexipol policy updates, and
No, we don't have the spreadsheet system set up yet. I'll be working on that here, the next few weeks, trying to get that done so that we can do the comparison. And, I can get Sandy set up to where she can do it after I get it all done. So we got a notice today that, we're being audited by Medicare and Medicaid. Randomly audited by the feds for Medicare and Medicaid, which is a 1-year audit, and it is absolutely kind of a grueling audit. It's gonna take up a lot of my time and Chief Mager's time now. So the policies are gonna be, we're gonna try to get as much as we can done with it, but if we do not accomplish this audit properly, we lose 10% of our funding through Medicare, so this is very important to us to have to stay on top of it. There's a ton of information that has to come from the clerk treasurer's office and the town manager's office and the fire department and, just a lot of stuff, so.
we skipped over equipment. Is there anything new on the?
There's nothing new on the equipment, we're still waiting on some equipment. The grant we got through the community foundation that helped us with our nozzles. We got some nozzles, but we haven't received any of the hose or anything yet, they're back ordered. Cause I would really like to do a presentation, but they want us to wait till they get all this stuff in, so they could come down and take a picture. I want to apply for the, SAFER grant next year again, when it opens up. I did get a copy of another very successful grant, and, the report they gave us told us that, we failed in the narrative area mostly, because it just wasn't detailed enough, I guess. Well, that's what it said, not detailed enough. And we thought, Doug and I thought that thing had so many details in it, it was unbelievable. So you kind of live and you learn as you go what they're gonna kind of gig you on. So, now that we know this, I think we stand a way better chance next year, working on it. So, Crown Point got the SAFER grant, but it took them 9 years to get it. So 9 tries.
Is that the one where they're going to hire non-experienced
Yep,
people? I saw that on the news.
yep. Yeah, that made, Chicago news that it's, a department our size, we can't do that. We can't hire non-experienced people to be full-time, just because we need the people on the road right away. But they're to the point where their staffing is big enough to where they can absorb that time. So once we get to that point, we can do that. We try to do that based upon getting volunteers in and utilize them volunteers as, working for us for that period of time, and then also, sending them through EMT and paramedic school and the academy for a fire site, so, excuse me.
Anything on the new engine?
Nope, nothing new, other than we're just counting the days.
All right, anything else? Other?
You got anything, Chief Mom?
Okay, we'll move on to other, legal report from the town attorney. He's not present because he had a previous, meeting at, since we've moved our date.
We can't update the MOU, we have received a a red marked, copy of I believe it was red marked on wrong MOU, so we had a conversation with them today, they're going to be looking into it, the red marked one that they marked up and try to get us some more interest tomorrow.
Okay. Training and reimbursement agreement, fire department,
We don't have anything
We
on
don't
that.
have any either, right?
okay. Fee schedule,
Nope.
ordinances update,
No.
okay. New building update,
We had a great meeting today, I think Chief will say, agree. We went over, most of the interior things. As of right now, they're scheduled and good to go for closing on December 22nd, for the bonds. And as it looks right now, the police department will be the first building they start with a hopefully groundbreaking in the area of April 5th-ish. It's about, the total project for both is about 18 months, but I think they projected our building to potentially, if nothing's wrong, be done by the middle of February, and yours by the middle of April, I think they said, right?
Yeah.
But they're still putting the dates together for Chief Oaking's side. They haven't finished that yet, so we were giving guys some, giving him some grief about that. But it's been some very, I agree, I think some very productive meetings with them, and we're moving forward.
great.
The EOP that's up there, we have finished it, it's being finalized draft, and then it's gonna go to the town attorney for legal review before it goes in front of the board, or the council.
Anything else? Okay. Have to call for public comment again. If you need to make any, please, come to the podium, state your name and address for the record.
While he's walking up, Greg, you have one thing.
Nobody's on.
We're gonna be having dinner at Charlie's house for Christmas. Did you, that we were here?
We're out of town.
Oh.
Yeah, we knew that.
We knew that. Just leave the keys.
Lauren will be cooking, you will have,
Okay.
white cabinet.
We'll have fun now.
All right, public comment once, twice, 3 times, being none. I'd like to wish everybody on the board here happy holidays and
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
And our next meeting is January 25th, that's for the schedule of 2023 at 6 p.m. Adjournment time.